So yeah, I'm doing a video in bed. I just want to briefly touch on, Brazil's currently in tears because tier 3 lockdowns going to be introduced post second national lockdown. It's essentially lockdown, all but name. It's just a different title for the same stuff. And the bonus is gyms are open. However, pubs and restaurants will remain closed indefinitely. How long I don't know, but it's amusing to me that supermarkets can profit during the lockdown. Amazon can profit during the lockdown. eBay can profit from the lockdown. Amazon and eBay are making a lot of money from the retailing business, but small shops and that kind of thing, they're struggling to make ends meet, and now pubs got to suffer. Apparently it's germ infested, but I'm not knocking the gyms because they're independently owned, most of them, even though they're replete with roid heads. I mean, come on, the fitness industry, it's rife with steroids, and that's another topic altogether. People think that they can achieve that fucking body in men's health. They're into La La Land. If you want a fucking chisel 6-pack, and if you want a low fat rate, you go on drugs, you starve yourself to some extent, that kind of thing. It's zero to do with health. It's about aspects, and that's that. That's another topic altogether. I'm not going to touch on that, but at least you get access to like healthy machines like a treadmill and all that, especially when it rains, and you get access to weights. You do some strength training exercises, salubrious to your bones structure and bone density and all that crap. It's good for the heart as well. It's all salubrious to the health, to your person's health. But yeah, that's fine, keeping they shut, but keep the schools open. My niece has to be on quarantine herself again, but because someone was tested positive in her school, and that's alright to have kids mingling in schools, congregate in schools. Hundreds of pupils mingle with one another in schools. But we can't allow pubs to open. No. And I noticed that when I'm outside, because of the lockdown, I'm looking after an ill relative, so I can't really do much. I gotta limit myself. It's alright to. You see a lot of people, in their cars and all that. Obviously, they're trying to make ends meet. People are not really taking this seriously, and I honestly don't blame them. It's becoming a joke. And this is someone who doesn't own a small business. This is someone who doesn't follow like David Icke and all those, anti-lockdown protests. All right, I don't follow any of them. I'm just aware of these people, like Aaron Walton, who, he's got like a tattoo shop in Gloucester Road. I don't live nowhere near there. I live a bus journey away, like 30 minutes away or something, but, it's neither here or there. But, I sympathise with independent businesses trying to make ends meet in this pandemic. Well, I think most people will agree that we need to forgo civil liberties if there was a war. All right, we had the Second World War. People were rationed. People had to contend with being in conflict with the Nazis, and with the First World War as well. Supplies were scarce. Everyone had to be conscripted, and the men had to be conscripted in the First World War. They had to forgo certain liberties. I understand that they were in a time where there is a time of tumult and chaos. Totally get that. The Great Fire of London. Plague was widespread. The Black Death in the 14th century. It became widespread. The bubonic plague became widespread in Europe and Asia, like, you know. Totally understand that. I think everyone would have appreciated the fact that they're in a national crisis, you know, or crisis. If they're, you know, but when it's to do with a disease with a close to 100% survival rate, and you're initiating all these draconian measures to prevent the spread of a disease that you can recover close to 100% of the time, people are going to question. And people are going to question that pubs and restaurants are closed instead of supermarkets, like big corporations like supermarkets, Amazon. That's all right for them to run. But independent retailers, independent tradesmen, tradeswomen, whatever. Oh, no, you can't run your shit, you know. It's funny because the Tories do not like people on the dole. They don't like dossers, no matter what situation, reason why they're dossers, they just don't like them. So how are you going to help getting rid of dossers by putting everyone on the dole? You're going to create more dossers if you continue with this insanity. The country's now further in debt. I think 2 trillion or something like that. How it's just not conducive to a stable economy. You need an economy. Economy is conducive to a functioning society. You need a robust economy for a robust society. That's just how it is. Money doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it does matter. If people don't have jobs to go to, they don't have any personal wealth, you're gonna have random people going out rioting and not giving a shit. And the police are gonna, you know, now the police are not doing themselves any favor by capitulating to this insanity by arresting people for not wearing a mask in the supermarket. All this COVID this COVID warden nonsense, this martial nonsense. It just doesn't work. And I foresee riots in the next month. On a grander scale than before. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen, unfortunately. I don't want it to happen. But if Boris showed some robust leadership with Brexit, the only reason why he was voted in is because of a lone vote. They wanted him to get Brexit sorted, dealt with. Then we had to contend with this insanity now. And Boris is nowhere to be seen. He's on lockdown and he's letting his goons to act as his representatives now. Boris is acting like a weak coward. He is. Boris, look, we don't give a shit about you personally. The only reason why you were voted in is for personal self-interest. I voted you in for Brexit. I don't want to die. We're not like close mates who went for dinner together or went to see a football game together. So I owe you shit. I voted you on the premise that you were gonna do a more successful job at running the country than Jeremy Corbyn ever will. And the cons always come up with this mantra, well, if you don't vote Tory, you're going to get Labour in. It's going to be worse under Labour. Really? Well, you two are two cheeks of the same ass as far as I'm concerned. The Tories like a bitch at Labour for being socialist, but what are they doing now? Oh, but we're in a pandemic. What, for over a disease that's near close to 100% survival rate? I'll tell you what. Last year, I believe that I contended with the COVID, right? I contended with it. It wasn't like the flu, but I survived it. Now, that don't mean to say I want everything to be completely shut down. I would want everyone's lives to come under a complete halt. Even if I think they're narcissistic tossers who like to post on Instagram, like to post selfies on Facebook, even if they're insufferable pricks, I don't want their lives to be ruined. Alright? Because, everyone deserves freedom in a Western society. Alright? So these new draconian measures aren't gonna get us anywhere. Alright, that's my opinion. I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not I'm not an expert in political science, or I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm just expressing my point of view. So don't come up with some intellectual nonsense. If you disagree with me, fine. Can't be respectful in the comments. You're just gonna be ignored. I don't care if you're gonna be a knob about it. If you want to be if you want to give me if you want to break down my, what I'm opining on, that's fine. But if you're gonna be a knob about it, I'm not gonna listen. I don't give a shit how intelligent you are or how many degrees you are. If you're gonna be a prick, then I'm not interested. Blocked. Done. Got better things to worry about than a bunch of nobodies. You can't just show me the basic level of respect. Don't mean to say you got to be my best mate. You got to lick my ass. You can be courteous enough to give me a civil response, like being an adult. So feel free to leave your comments down below. Don't care. Watch something else. Go watch Alex Belfield. That's cool. Or just watch something who's popular or whatever. I just do this for something to talk about. I personally can deal with lockdowns. I just feel bad for the small businesses and those who are healthy enough to live their lives in spite of the COVID and other illnesses. Because there are other illnesses out there, people, and we're all going to die at some point in our lives, and we're not going to live forever. I think the problem with this era is that we're too obsessed with wanting to live for eternity, trying to live as long as we can, which is unhealthy. We all die at some point. That's the cruel reality of life. I'm sorry, but you can't let life grind to a halt because of a few people dying. And I've had death experiences. I contended with COVID. I know I have last Christmas. Even if I die from it right now, from COVID, I don't want the world to grind to a halt. And that's pretty much the end of my video. Feel free to leave a comment. Just switch this off. Fuck's sake, man. There we go.